During the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend, President Biden recognized the American journalists who have put their lives and safety on the line while doing their jobs. One of those the president mentioned is Austin Tice, a freelance journalist and veteran U.S. Marine Corps officer who was kidnapped in 2012 while reporting in Syria.
We are not ceasing our effort to get him, find him, and bring him home. Tonight, our message is this: journalism is not a crime. Evan and Austin should be released immediately, along with every other American held hostage or wrongfully detained abroad.
Here to talk more about her son, Austin, is his mother, Debra Tice. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me this morning.
You know, I know that you've heard from multiple presidents, multiple administrations that they are working to bring your son home. But can you describe what it felt like hearing once again the President of the United States say, essentially the entire nation to the world, that he is continuing to try to bring your son home?
Right. And, you know, I sincerely appreciate the president's enthusiasm about bringing Austin home. I would like to see that urgency and that commitment trickle down in the people that he's directing to get this done and to bring Austin home. And so I just hope that he can have a pep talk with his down-the-line team.
You know, that brings me actually to my question. You have been absolutely relentless at reminding us that Austin is not home. And I know these interviews are not easy for you to do. Do you believe the government has been as relentless as you have been?
No. No, I do not think that. I think there are disruptions, you know, when there are bigger crises around the world. I think there are interruptions having to do with political, you know, events, especially elections, are disruptive to continuity in these kinds of situations.
And so what do officials tell you when you ask them what's being done to bring Austin home? What is there? Because at this point, it must feel as if you've heard it all, and it must often feel as if it's just, these are just words to placate you because there has been no movement.
There is sort of fits and starts with movement, and I am always assured that they're working as hard as they can and fully committed. And, you know, there's only one measure for this. When I have Austin in my arms, we've done the best job. So, you know, until we're at that point, assurances have sort of lost their strength with me.
Can you just remind us about, you know, what Austin was doing in Syria, why he felt this work was very valuable, knowing that, you know, he was putting himself at risk?
Well, you know, Austin is a captain in the Marine Corps, and he was confident that he had the training and the capability to keep himself safe and to go in and get the story. And having served in conflict zones in Iraq and Afghanistan, it was so important to him to go in just with a camera and to try to move the needle to where people wouldn't want to have anything that looked like a war, and especially a war that's inside cities where innocent non-combatants are, and children especially, come under the horrible things that war brings.
Mrs. Tice, before we let you go, you know, we know that you and your family are working very closely with the administration to try and bring Austin home. But what can ordinary people do? We've seen when citizens, when people in this country, around the world, exert public pressure on the administration in past instances, things do happen. So what can people do who are watching this right now and hearing your voice?
Well, I don't think we need to have, marches in the street, but I do think letters, I do think getting on the internet and just sending an email to your congressmen, your senators, certainly the White House, and express how much you want to see Austin come home, how important that is, and urgently bring him home. It's been 10 years and 9 months for him. And like you say, 3 administrations. He's really, I'm sure, quite ready to walk free.
Yeah, I think we all sort of would love to see that image of you holding him in your arms again. Debra Tice, I know it's difficult to talk about this stuff. I'm so happy that you spent some time with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you.